Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tom's Gadget Garage. Today is going to be video number 5 in my testing series on the Ausom DT2 Pro dual motor electric scooter. And for today's video, we're going to be doing a top speed and acceleration test to see just how fast this scooter can get going, as well as how long it takes to get up to that top speed. Now, Ausom does claim on paper that this scooter can hit up to 42 miles an hour, but we're absolutely going to be putting that to the test. Now, during this test, I will be using the Draggy GPS performance monitor as well as an on-screen GPS display. That way we have a nice, accurate, and consistent way to measure these results. And at the end of this video, we're going to compare the results of this scooter to 2 other scooters that often come up in conversation when talking about scooters, especially at this price point. That's going to be the Ausom L2 Max dual motor as well as the Segway Ninebot Max G3. Now you might be wondering why I would compare a dual motor scooter to the single motor Ninebot Max G3. Well, it just so happens that both of these scooters are priced exactly the same at that $1,199 price point. Also for this test, I will be doing 2 runs and I will average out those results at the end. That way we account for any kind of changes in wind direction. And I will also be doing this test with the P12 setting or start strength setting set to 5 out of 5. That's going to be the setting that gives you the most amount of acceleration and torque. Alright folks, so now that I've laid the groundwork, let's go ahead and jump straight into our top speed and acceleration test. Alright folks, we're going to go ahead and do our top speed and acceleration test with the Ausom DT2 Pro, and I do have our top speed and acceleration settings set to 5 out of 5 in the P settings menu, so that should give us the most amount of power for this test. Alright, so we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Strong kick, 20 on the screen, 30 on the screen. We're still picking up speed. All right, we're gonna go ahead and call it there. And we're gonna go ahead and do round 2 in 3, 2, 1, go. Very strong pickup. 20 on the screen, 30 on the screen, 35, 40. So far, ride is super stable. All right, we're gonna go ahead and call it there. Alright folks, so as you can see from that top speed and acceleration run, this Ausom DT2 Pro was able to hit a top speed of 39 miles an hour, and it was able to get to that in under 18 seconds. So definitely a lot of power coming out of this $1,200 scooter. Now, it is 3 miles an hour short of the 42 that Ausom claims, but keep in mind that they do their testing with a 143-pound rider. Folks, I weigh in at 200 pounds, so substantially heavier than their basic testing conditions. So if you do weigh less than me, you're likely going to get closer to 40, maybe even 41, 42 miles an hour. Now at the beginning I did say I would compare the results of the DT2 Pro to the L2 Max dual motor as well as the Ninebot Max G3. And as you can see from these results, 0 to 35, the DT2 Pro is the clear winner. However, when you look at 0 to 20 performance, the L2 Max dual motor actually has the edge. It gets up to speed a little bit quicker than that 52 volt DT2 Pro. However, once you get to 20 miles an hour, the DT2 Pro's extra power, extra voltage starts to shine, and it starts accelerating even quicker than that L2 Max dual motor, ultimately taking it up to a top speed of 39 miles an hour, whereas that L2 Max actually capped out at 35. And at the bottom there, we do have the Segway Ninebot Max G3, which is the only single motor scooter in this comparison. And as you can see, it's also got respectable results, but the dual motors that you see in the L2 Max and DT2 Pro give it that edge on acceleration and ultimately top speed. So overall, very good performance out of the DT2 Pro, definitely above and beyond what you would typically expect at the $1,200 price point. Now I did mention this was video 5, so if you haven't caught my extreme hill climb test, my endurance hill climb test, my range test, or my night ride, I will include those in the description below. And let me know if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns. Happy to address those. And as always, thank you so much for tuning into Tom's Gadget Garage. We'll see you next time.